Oh, thank you.
So today we will be talking about easy to receive bad, hard to receive good. Facts, truth, that is a reality. Um, Today we have special guest by popular demand, Julie. Julie, welcome back for a third season. How does it
Oh,
feel
thank
to be
you.
back again?
Oh, it feels fantastic. I'm super excited. Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate you calling me back.
Oh yeah, Julie, you're definitely back by popular demand for sure, for sure. You're definitely one of the fan favorites. We love a good Julie. We love a
Thank
Julie
you.
episode. Okay, so Julie, the topic easy to receive bad, hard to receive good.
Mm,
I mean,
mm.
let's talk about it.
Man, um, I don't know if I actually told you I'm actually seeing somebody new.
I saw on your
Um,
Instagram.
yes, I have a girlfriend and she's fantastic. I love her so much. My God. Um, she like obviously, of course, you want to heal yourself before you start seeing new people, right?
Mhm.
Um, Being with her though was kind of like a wake up call. Not wake up call, but like a
Your mic
realization
is
like, oh,
going in and out.
oh no.
Hmm. Ooh, cool
How about
headphones, by the way.
how about this? Can you hear me
Okay.
now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was in the wrong mode. Ha ha. Sorry. Um, but like being with her was like a huge like I guess realization like, oh shit, like there are healthy people in relationships. Cuz I guess being with someone that was so toxic for 2 years, 3 years. And so for some people, it's 10 years, 30 years,
Hmm.
40 years. So for some people, it's 2 months, whatever the case. You're so used to the bad toxicity and like
Hmm.
the negative energy of like and the gaslighting or the abuse, and mental, emotional, physical, whatever the case. You're so used to it, right?
Yeah.
Um, that like once you finally are with someone that's like transparent, communicative, healthy,
Yeah.
uh, it's it feels weird and it almost feels wrong. I explored that with my therapist, where like um, something that I was used to in my like my past relationship was like you know, if this person told me like they're having a bad day, hey babe, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. They're clearly not fine.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just easy, super small example, right? But like they're clearly not fine. Why are they lying to me? You're wondering to yourself, why are they lying to me? And they're not telling the truth, the whole truth, and whatever.
It's
And
doing
then,
that thing again.
oh no, but okay. How about now?
Yeah.
Dang, we just experiencing this, folks. Okay,
Yes, we love it. We love a good
we love to
technical
see
difficulty.
it. Yes, it's okay. I'm just gonna have to be like touching the mic,
Pretty
kissing the mic.
much.
Am I too loud? Am I too loud? Is this too loud?
No, this is perfect.
Mwah. Okay, kissing the mic today then.
Kiss it.
Um,
Mwah.
um, yeah. So like, having someone like that's like, hey, like, I mean, what I say when I say I'm fine, so you don't have to like think more about it, think any less about it, whatever the case, right? Um, I think there was one day with my girl where um you know, she didn't feel comfortable me like this is gonna get a little, rated R, but like we were in the shower, right? She didn't feel
Hmm.
comfortable me like going down on her in the shower, just because
Hmm.
she didn't feel pretty that day. It was as simple as that. That was it, right? And I was like, I started to personalize it. This is just me personally, right? Where my
Hmm.
therapist says I personalize things, right? Where I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
she doesn't want me to go down. Does she not trust me with her body? Does she not think that I think she's pretty? Whatever the
Hmm.
case, yada yada, right? And my girl just says, nope, it's not you. It's literally just me. Right. And it made me think more about it than I maybe should have. Right. Um, And her telling me
Dang.
later, huh? Yeah, she came up to me later and said, like, it's literally not you, it's me. So I don't want you to have this wrong idea that like that you're the issue or whatever.
Right.
But in my past relationship, it was me, or it was this person, but they projected it onto me. So I got
Oh.
so used to that, like that mindset of like it's me, I'm the problem.
Hmm.
Um, right. And it's an interesting transition, having someone who uh like means what they say. When
Yeah.
um that's one example. And then also just like uh the gaslighting I was used to, the
Hmm.
the whatever I was used to, and then having now someone who like reminds me every day that like I'm loved and that they love me, right? And that I do good. I guess if that makes sense. Obviously, I know
Yeah.
that, right? I guess it's just weird whenever you're in a relationship with people, you realize things about yourself, more about yourself than when you're single. I'm single. I do the work. I do the healing. I do the self care, right?
Yeah.
The journaling. I have the reminder of the journaling every day. The let's go
Yes.
outside. It's not that easy every day. Sometimes though, we have days where like you want to fight the world. Um,
Yes.
but
Yes.
yeah, it's just weird. Like just this morning, she texted me, "Good morning," right? And I'm like, "Good morning," and she's giving me this long message about how she loves me, yada yada. It's so cute. I love it. Love to see it. Um, love to
Awesome.
see it.
Love to see
Um,
it.
love to see it. But yeah, it's so weird. It's not weird now, but in the beginning, it was very weird experiencing,
Right.
um, like genuine, like truthful love, if that makes
Hmm.
sense, as opposed
Yes,
to,
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. It's because like experiencing something different, experiencing something different for sure. It's gonna have like, it's gonna, I don't know, it's gonna catch like your brain and your body's attention. It's
yeah,
like, what is this different thing? Can I trust this different thing? I'm not used to this. What I am used to, even though it's like, even though we like know what like we're used to is not like the best, it's still like familiar.
yeah.
And so,
My therapist actually explained it to me, in scientific terms. We're gonna
oh,
learn something today about the brain. I'm sure
we're
you
learning
probably
about the
already
brain today.
know a little bit, Josias. Um, I can't, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but your hippocampus is in charge of your memories. Is that right? Or is it your,
Yes.
yes, okay. Then your
Yes.
amygdala is like your fight or flight like
Fight or flight, the
response.
fear,
Right.
yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So the way my therapist explained it to me, and it has actually helped because I have a friend that was in a very similar relationship as I was.
Mhm.
Um and like she's going through the same things right now where they're, as of right now, in a weird situation, but as of right now they're split, right? And she's going through that same, almost the exact same thing where like they're back together and not back together, possibly type of thing, right?
Mhm.
But um it's your hippocampus is in charge of your memories. Amygdala is part of your fight or flight, right? Think of your amygdala as like the sniper who's ready to take aim and it senses threat, right? And your hippocampus has that memory of something, right? Your amygdala is like, hey, 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 remember this? This is something wrong. We don't like this. So it's ready to pull the trigger. Um, but anytime you are, because you're used to something, right? Like for example, I guess for um people who have dealt with physical abuse, someone that raises their hand, your hippocampus remembers the hand being raised as someone
Right.
hit you.
Right. That's
In
like
your amygdala,
trigger
yeah, that's that
alert.
trigger. Yeah, so your amygdala is like, whoa, 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 aim the sniper. We're gonna pull the trigger and like stop this, right?
Mhm.
Um, so your brain is hardwired to, to thinking whatever that trigger is for you,
Mhm.
is a problem, right? Um, and so whatever, for example, my example, whenever my girl says I'm fine, or like, I think you're beautiful. For some reason, my brain in the beginning was like, oh, she's not telling the truth, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So like fight or flight with that response, right? And so I'd be like, do you really love me? Are you really telling the truth? Are you whatever? And I had to hardwire my brain or rewire, excuse me, rewire my brain to thinking, nope, nope, she's telling the truth. Stop, like express, like feel the emotion, let it ride out, but just understand that this person is telling the truth. And
Say
even
that
if they're
again.
not, that they're telling the truth.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And even if they're not, like, let the people be. I've also learned that too. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you can't stop people from feeling what they're feeling, and you can't stop people from doing what they're doing. They're gonna cheat, they're gonna cheat. If they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
tell you the truth, they're gonna tell you the truth. If they're gonna lie, they're gonna lie. You can't stop them. You know what I mean?
Mm.
No amount of loving that you give someone will stop them from doing what they think is right, quote unquote. I guess, right?
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
um, that I feel like that applies to not just relationships, but just people in general. People will do what they want to do,
Right.
whether it's your friends, whether it's your coworkers, your classmates, whatever, your parents. You can't, unfortunately, control other people's actions. Um,
Right.
totally not really on topic, but just like a side note, like, yeah, you can't really control people's actions and stuff like that. So if
Right.
if
Right.
they decide to lie to you, let them lie. Let them
Right.
lie. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Um, but yeah, it's an interesting transition with my girl now. And what I to be fair, we've only been dating for a little while, but less than a year. But it's so far like it's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
Yes. Julie, we love to see a good journey. We love to see a good journey from like season one to now season two. And I
Oh,
mean, not
honey,
now
y'all
season
saw
two,
y'all saw
season.
me at like, oh man, y'all met me at like a interesting stage of my life.
Yeah. And now we're able to, like, we're seeing, you know, the then and then the now. Because now you're on
Yeah.
season
You
three.
ever seen
And
Zach and Cody? And like Mr. Mosby was like, "I'm a beautiful butterfly." That's me right now. I'm a butterfly right now.
yes.
Yes, I'm the butterfly right
Yes.
now.
I love that, Julie. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
I love that. Seriously, just your growth, and your self growth and stuff like that. Um, it's definitely, I don't know, what a journey. And to,
Oh
like,
yeah.
hear that, like, this is where you are now, because you're definitely, you already just got a kind heart in general.
Oh,
You
thank you.
are you are like worth all of these good things that are coming your way, and it's just like something that, like, um God was telling me. It was like, on your bad days when you don't feel like you deserve
Oh
something
yes.
good, you don't. It's because you're worth that something good. It's just like, you shouldn't have to be you shouldn't have to, have good things only on the days when you're feeling great and
I
you're good to
yes.
focus. Right? So it's just like,
Yes.
even on the days where you're not feeling yourself, or you're not super confident in yourself, you still, the good thing, it's still, you're still worth it. So, yeah.
Yes. Sorry. I had to step away for a second. Um
No, you're fine.
um no, yeah, absolutely. Like I'm just gonna sit here and talk about my girl, I guess. And how
Yeah.
great she is. Yeah, no, I even on like the days that like I'm feeling like absolute like just absolute shit, right?
Yeah.
Like absolute garbage. Whether it's a bad mental health day or just a tiring day, whatever. Um, this kind of speaks more towards my love language, which is acts of service, right? Everyone
Mm.
is different, right? If you like gifts, receiving gifts, whatever the case, right? That whatever works for you. For May's loves acts of service. She understands my love language, right? So like I'm acts of service. I come home after a really, really long day of work. I'm tired physically, I'm tired mentally. I'm exhausted. I come home and, she's like, hey, or throughout the day, she's like, hey, what do you want for dinner? Hey, I'm okay with anything, whatever, just give me whatever. I come home and this whole meal is like prepared for me or whatever. Just a simple act of like a simple meal just being already made. Hey, you came home from work, you're tired, here you go, or whatever, right? And like, um, I guess like having that was weird. I was like, oh, you made me a meal. Well, she goes, yeah, like you're tired, you don't have to cook when you come home. It's okay. Um, Same thing with her. Like she comes home after a long day and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to have this ready. I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to make her bed, whatever the case. Um, and it was really, really weird. Like I said, it almost felt wrong. Like I was just like, what do you like in the beginning, not really now, but in the beginning, I was like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Like I was almost like sus of her making me a plate. Um, I was almost suspicious of her, like, you know, giving me vitamins in the morning. My God, this girl gives me vitamins in the morning. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've seen it on my Instagram, but I'm like, I wake up and she leaves for work. I haven't gone to work yet. I wake up ready to go to work, and on the counter, it's a freaking little plate of of vitamins that like I'm just like, what? And she's like, make sure you take your vitamins every day because it helps your mental health and your physical health and just overall health, whatever.
Yeah.
And
Aw.
I'm just like, and like in my last relationship, it was almost transactional, where like
Mm.
I do something for you, so like you do something for me, type of thing. Not all the time. It wasn't always like that, but there are moments where it's like, oh well, I did this for you while you were dealing with XYZ thing, so like you should be able to do this for me. Um, Whenever I do this. Like, okay, it's fair. There's a certain level of like reciprocation you have to give, but there's a certain level of transactional things that were happening, I feel
Mhm.
like, in the relationship. But this girl's just like, no, like I just love you and I want you to be healthy. So here's some vitamins.
Yes, it's doing that thing again.
No. Mwah. Kiss the mic.
Okay, yeah,
Hello.
we can hear you now. But even when you were kissing it, it started doing it. So I was like, ah,
Dang, yikes. Okay, this episode we're just gonna have technical difficulties.
we're just gonna
Yikes.
have some technical difficulties. We get the overall story, though. We get the overall.
Yes. Yes. It was just weird her giving me like vitamins. I was like, me giving her like, oh well, I thanked her first of all. I was just like, hey, like, let me
Yeah.
buy you some more vitamins because it was her vitamins. She's like, no, don't bother. I'm like, what? What do you mean? She goes, I love you and I want you to be healthy, so just take the vitamins. And like again, in the past, hearing those things, I'd be like, okay, like she's gonna want something later in the future. This is gonna be a transaction, whatever the case, right? Um, but like this girl's like, no, like I 100% mean it. You don't have to give me
Yeah.
anything back.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, no
like
strings attached.
no strings attached. Just like I love you and I care about your health. As simple as that. So even now, like I still kind of like I'm working on um like not personalizing things one.
Mhm.
Uh and by personalizing, it's like um something I was working through in therapy is if you guys haven't guessed what I mean by personalizing, it's when somebody does, right? Someone does something and you take responsibility for it, even though there is zero responsibility on your end. For example, someone who has like um I don't know, like someone who, my girlfriend, for example, right, didn't feel beautiful that day, right? She doesn't want me to see her body. That doesn't mean it's anything on me, right?
Right.
She doesn't have anything against me. She doesn't, it's not- I, but I, in my mind, say, okay, she doesn't trust me to see her body. She doesn't trust me to, like, she doesn't feel comfortable around me. The whole issue about around that statement is I'm making this about me, right? That's personalizing. Um, Versus she doesn't feel comfortable, right?
Right.
Or she that. It sounds really weird and kind of wrong in a sense to say it, but like in order to make it make sense for my brain, it's a her problem, not a me problem, if that makes sense.
Right.
but not in a negative context. More of just
Right.
this is not about me. This is not about me. Or in
Right.
if you're talking if as the viewer, this is not about you. It's not about you. It's about that person.
Right.
Don't personalize it. Don't take the responsibility of someone else's issues, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Right.
Um,
Right. Right.
um,
No, you said it perfectly.
yeah,
You said it perfectly because I mean that is a reality. You know, just in general, it's like a lot of
right.
things are not an us problem; they're an other person problem. You
Mhm.
know, and it's like that's a legit reality. And I know myself. Like I know I definitely um, personalize some things as well. You know, even though it's like I don't know. So, anyways, long story short, hearing you say that don't personalize it. I don't know. I needed to hear that.
Yeah, my therapist has me and her have been working together, and she goes, I know, like you may think it sounds a little crude saying it, but like keep saying it, right? It's not them, or it's not me, it's them. It's not me, it's them. It's not me, it's
Right.
them. Or it's not about me, it's about them. It's not about me, it's about them. And it's I've had to repeat that to myself a couple of times, right? Whenever like my girl doesn't feel comfortable, you know, um like sharing her day, for example. She had a bad day at work. It was a really bad day. She didn't want to talk about it. Right. And for a split second, I was like, oh, does she not trust me with this information? Does she not trust my
Right.
emotion,
Right.
like me to emotionally connect with her? Right. But it's not that. Um, she told
Hmm.
me I'm just tired and I just don't want to relive my day by talking about it. Right.
Yeah.
And I had to remind myself, it's not about me. This is about her. It's not about me, it's about her.
Right.
She doesn't want to relive her day, and that's completely understandable. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I know for
And
me, it's definitely hard. I know for me, like now that that area in my life has been exposed, I
Mhm.
know that um because I've experienced so much gaslighting and
Mhm.
folks not clearly communicating,
Absolutely. Yeah.
that I had no choice but to look for these small things and investigate it
Yep.
because it's like I
Yep.
felt like it was my job to read the
Absolutely.
minds, even though they could clearly just speak. They
Oh,
just,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yes. We went through the exact same thing, my love. Like, uh,
Yes.
oh, honey, we went through the exact same thing. Yeah. Like every little thing you investigate it, you think, oh, like they're not telling me the whole truth. Right.
Right.
And like I said, like same thing, like with my girl, same thing. Like a simple, I'm fine, right? Uh, in the past, I'd be like, oh, so they're not fine.
Right.
What indicators of their body language is telling me they're really not fine, right? The way she said it, she's not fine. But with someone that I'm with now, with someone that's secure, number one, secure attachment, which is really great for someone who has a somewhat anxious attachment style, like myself. Um, and whatever they say, for the most part, is truthful. Now, if I'm
Right.
not saying my girl, I'm talking about just in general. This person wants to lie, okay, let them lie, right? But as of right now, like it's the truth. If they say they're fine, they're fine. In the past, I had to always be on guard dog alert. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
amygdala, this my sniper, is
Yeah.
telling me the I'm fine is not the truth. The I'm fine means I'm not okay, and I need you to know why I'm not okay without me telling you I'm not okay.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and and being in the situation of trying to guess, play like detective on what's wrong with someone when they don't want to tell you. um, it
Right.
is a very hard spot to be in, and it makes you feel like a lot of different things. At least for me personally, it made me feel like inadequate. It made me feel dumb to a certain extent,
Yeah.
right? And it made me feel, I don't know, lonely. It made
Right.
me feel
Yeah.
so many different things I felt whenever I had to be in that position, right? It made me feel untrustworthy, but it made me feel all these things, right? And I was personalizing and taking the responsibility for all of this when this person could simply, like,
Right.
I'm gonna be a little crude, just open their fucking mouth
Yeah.
and tell me the
Yeah.
truth. It's as easy as
Yeah.
that,
That
right?
clear fucking communication. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, just fucking talk
yeah.
to me. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I get it. There's some times where you don't want to talk about things, right?
Hmm.
And you don't want to relive those things. But in a
But this one was consistent. Like this was so
yes. Yeah,
consistent. Like just not
yeah.
fully communicating. That's when
Right,
it gets
absolutely.
dangerous.
Absolutely. And like I said,
Yeah.
I personalized it and I said, okay, well, this person doesn't trust me. And that just, that like those one or two times eventually builds up. And if it consistently does that, your brain will just make you think that you're the problem,
Yeah.
right? But you're not the problem, honey. You are not the problem.
Right.
Like, you are not the problem. I mean, sometimes we are the problem, but we're not the problem in this case.
Right. Right.
Accountability is also important, right? But
Yes.
um, yeah. So like, yeah, like just that, like in this relationship and even friendships too. I've experienced it where like, you know, it's it's so easy to receive bad because we're so used to it. Me personally, I grew up, as my therapist says, I grew up used to taking 50 shots of fucking tequila because I had to bear the responsibility of like my family growing up, right? So in relationships, like one or two shots, what's one or two shots?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Um, but like we don't want to get to the point where we're getting drunk off of 55 shots because we can take it, right?
Right.
Um, uh for my last relationship, I was used to the verbal abuse, the verbal or mental abuse, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
right? So in my family, not saying my family is toxic, to a certain extent we were, right? Yeah, you know,
Hmm.
you know. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, to a certain extent, but like I said, I was used to taking 50 shots of having to guess what my parents were saying and having to bear the responsibility of being the golden child of the family and you know
Hmm.
being the quiet one that like did whatever my parents wanted, and being responsible for their emotions and their feelings, right? And so I was just taking the 50 shots of tequila. So whenever my ex or my past relationships gave me only 3 shots, 4 shots, 5 shots, 10 shots, it felt like nothing.
Right.
But 10 shots of tequila is also not okay, right?
Right.
um,
Right.
it's just as bad. So, it was so easy for me to take bullshit, even into my job. It's so easy for me to take bullshit that,
Right.
like, the small little pieces of bullshit, even though they're totally not okay, you're used to it.
Right.
And anyone that's out there is experiencing that, understand that bullshit,
I'm writing
whether
down
it's,
notes, by the way, because you had
oh,
said
yeah, no
something that I needed
worries.
to hear. That's why I'm doing. Okay.
Yeah, bullshit, no matter what it is, it's still bullshit. It's still
Right.
shit. It still smells like shit. It still tastes like shit,
Right.
right?
Right.
So no matter the amount of bullshit that you take, it's not okay. And I just want you to remember that, folks.
No, that's true. Who
Yeah.
writes that? Is to
um,
carry. Yeah, Julie. You come through with the wisdom, so I got to write down some
well, thank you.
life notes, and that's something that made me. It pointed something out is that there can be things that we unintentionally or even intentionally, because it all happens, but
Mhm.
take from one relationship to the next, whether that's friendships, romantic relationships. For example, it's like that it becomes our normal to overthink someone's words because they're not telling us the full truth. And
Right.
the words, for example, I'm fine. It you know that could be a clear communication. Just
Mhm.
simply, I'm fine. And then, but we've also had someone who said, I'm fine, and they weren't being clear communicative. They weren't being clear in their communication. And so it's
Right.
like, when we hear that word, I'm fine, it's like our body's going to have to start to relearn, okay, like,
What does this mean?
right. What does this mean? What's the
Yeah,
discernment? Is there a discernment? You know what I mean? Because it's like I've
absolutely.
heard this word before, and the word I'm fine is supposed to mean I'm fine. But
Hmm.
before, it didn't mean I'm fine. And it's like
Yeah.
so it's like we take that rewiring, you know,
Right.
and we bring it to the next relationship, noticing it or without noticing it, and it just ends up doing us more damage if we don't check it
Right.
and
Absolutely.
call it out and do that healing, that self growth, the therapy, the
Oh, yeah.
learning. Yeah, because we ideally, I just think it's amazing to, love someone the best that we
Mhm.
can, in our human nature. And by that means
Absolutely.
nothing's perfect.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Finding someone that loves you for you and you don't have to change things. Of course, people change. You have to change and improve yourself, obviously to a certain extent.
right, you gotta grow.
But you got to grow. But having someone that loves you for you, right, and
Yeah,
all the things that you come with, good or bad, is really important, right? Um, because the way I explained it to a friend, and he kept it. He kept it in his little. He actually had a little notepad with him, or like on his notes on his
oh.
phone, and he wrote it. Um, like if they're not willing to love you in the stage that you are right now, then they're not ready to love you in all the stages you will become. If that makes sense.
Right.
And
Yeah.
like again, whether you have whatever good or bad traits you have, because we all have them, right? We all
Right.
have good and bad things about us, and we're all working on ourselves. Oh, well, most of us are. Um,
Some of us are.
right? Some of us are. But if you're working towards a change in a good direction, right, that person should be able to love you in all the stages that you are.
Right,
And
exactly. Working
um,
towards it.
yeah.
Exactly.
So even if
Because
you have bad traits now, and you're working on those bad traits, if that person's not seeing that you're moving forward in a good direction, then they should be able to see you transform, and still love you.
right.
You know.
Yes, exactly. And because it's like a lot of people, we could end up, ruining a relationship that's like the best thing for us because
Absolutely.
we're carrying baggage that
Hmm.
that an unhealthy partner gave us.
Oh,
And so
absolutely.
now, right? So it's like now we fucked up a great relationship or we missed out
Hmm.
on a great relationship because of, the wiring that the bad relationship gave us. And so,
Oh yeah.
I don't know, I'm just so amazed, Julie, and I applaud you that the fact that the fact that you grow, the fact that you, no, because literally, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't see any people. I'm gonna be literally. I don't think I see any people who actually recover from a unhealthy relationship. I'm just gonna be honest. You
Hmm.
know, I
Damn.
I see that I'm the only one, and then, I
Right.
see you, and I think it's inspiring because it's not like it's taught, oh, go to therapy if you've been in a bad relationship.
Oh yeah.
It's just like, let's move on to the next. But I'm just like,
Yes. Yes. I have a friend that actually I tell all the time, whenever he talks to me about his current and his past and like all the things, all the quirks and whatnot. I just go, my friend, I think you really need therapy. um
yes, exactly. Because therapy, it's not just about us. It's about also those around us, those that we're gonna
yeah,
impact. And it's like if we wanna like,
exactly. And it's
right,
not
like,
just talking about your feelings. It's more than that.
right,
Um to a certain extent, yeah, I mean, yes, it is talking about your feelings, but it's also working with someone who's unbiased, right?
right. A
Excuse me.
growth experience, a growth journey.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. It's about learning and um, uh, working towards something better, right? To better yourself mentally, emotionally, and and even to a certain extent, even physically. Like,
Yeah.
um,
It helps
and
all aspects. Therapy really is
ab-
good for all
absolutely,
aspects
it's
of
great.
life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
consistent therapy is important as well.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, it's not. It can be expensive for some people,
Of
which
course.
sucks.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
but if it's possible, then like just keep it consistent. Like I I've been working with my therapist for about a year now, and I'm seeing I'm seeing growth all throughout the process, right? But like seeing where I was and seeing
Yeah.
where I've come now, like looking at my journal entries when I started
And
therapy.
listening to your episode one, I mean, to your season one
Yeah.
episode, just to now, yes.
Yeah, like I looking at my journal entries from when I first started my therapy journey to my journal entries now. Like I went like just the other day, I was at home with my girl and my alarm went off for my journal reminder. And she goes, "Oh, it's time to journal." And she's like, "I'm gonna leave you alone for like 10 minutes. Is that okay?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." So she went to go take a shower, and I was like, "Oh, she left me alone to journal." She respects my my
Yeah.
time to myself, which is great. I love her for that. So I journaled, and I finished journaling, and I had some time left while she was in the shower, and I was like, "Let me go back." So I looked back through. This was maybe 2 weeks ago. I looked back through to like my very first journal entry, and like I was going through journals from that time period, and I was like, "Holy crap!" Like
Say that again.
I was just like, "Holy crap!"
No,
Like
like you
I'm
were going through the what
Oh, my journal entries.
during that
Um,
time period, like
during like my
before.
first journal entries, when I was going through what I was going through at the time, and like looking through, all my past entries, and I was just like, holy shit, man, I've come far. I've come
Yeah.
really far. I'm still a work in progress, but I've come very, very far. And like, I don't think I even told my therapist this. I don't like or my therapist told me this actually. She's like, I don't think you give yourself enough credit because I didn't. I didn't think I gave myself enough credit. Like, thank you. I guess my performative brain is just like, oh no, like if you're not 100%, like it's not good, right? But she told me I need you to like dial it back a little bit. Look in the past, right? Look at the past, look where you were, and look where you are. You've come a
Right.
very long way.
Right.
And still work in progress, like I said. But like in retrospect, I thought, okay, let me cut myself some slack and like see where I've come. And it's like, holy crap, like I have come very far.
Yes, because it's.
Oh,
I'm sure you've heard this saying, like, if you don't like heal a cut, you'll bleed on
other
people
people, yes.
who never even cut you.
Yes, I've heard
Yeah,
that before.
and it's also like
It's funny, I used that in my last relationship.
it's like us like not healing and properly recovering from a toxic or a previous relationship, whether it was toxic or not, you know, we bring that into a healthy relationship or a relationship that has a lot of potential, and we
Right.
ruin it, or we become the toxic ones, or if we don't catch ourselves, or we just
Absolutely.
like miss out or ruin it because we're overthinking because of what our previous relationship was. And that's the thing. That's why it's so important to heal, because it's like essentially not only did this ex relationship teach you a lot of unhealthy coping mechanisms,
Hmm.
um, but it's also like even after y'all, or I'm not saying y'all as in you, I'm just saying in
Yeah,
general,
yeah.
like as a whole,
General.
it's like after y'all have departed and now you're in this other relationship, but you're still being affected, mentally, and
Absolutely.
like
Yeah.
it's like your ex is still
There.
taking away all these other potential relationships. So it's like that's why it's
Exactly.
important to heal, because it's like the toxic people can have just a tighter grip
Oh,
after
yes.
we leave.
Absolutely. My therapist, man, whenever I was going through my era, that's that short that amount not short, but that amount of time that I was single, right? In the beginning, whenever not even in the beginning actually, like in the midpoint, I guess you could say, between the end of my last relationship and um maybe like January or February. January time. Um I was talking to my therapist and she was like, um, she was like, this person. Oh, actually, you know what? No, I'm sorry. My sense of sorry, COVID has my sense of time all messed up. This was like December. This was like December. I remember because it was Christmas time. But regardless, she goes. I was telling her something that I was experiencing. Because the toxic people, once they see that something good is leaving, they try to get it back, right? That's all I gotta say.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so when I mentioned an incident that happened with my therapist, and she goes, are still affected by what's her name again? And I was like, oh, my therapist knows her name. I
You're like, you don't even know her name, but oops.
was like, oh, okay, not her forgetting her name. She goes, I was like, I reminded her the name, and she goes, oh yeah, right. I'm just wondering why that this person is still, taking effect in your mind again.
Hmm.
And I was like, oof. Um, well, I mean, this happened, and they're trying to do this XYZ thing, and she goes, you have come so far, and yet this person, for some reason, is still taking up space in your mind.
Hmm.
Why? Right?
Say that again.
This person just so is still taking up space in your mind.
Yeah.
Why? And I was like, well, like I don't think of this person in like a loving aspect or anything like that. And she goes, right, that's fine, but she's still taking up space
Mm.
when she doesn't need to take up space. You know what I mean? Whether or not like you still love this person or otherwise, for some reason we still let these toxic people linger in our mind,
Mm.
um, when we just need to let it go.
Right.
Um, Easier said than done for some people, right? But like the things to remember for me, at least personally, was like this person serves me no greater purpose in my life. This person does not teach me things, does not give me any like anything
Mm.
good, right? So why let them linger in my life and my mind any longer, right?
Right.
Just let it go. So hearing her like kind of like give me a wake up call, she said something else. I just can't remember exactly what she said, but um um that little snap was like, okay, like cut the bullshit, literally cut the bullshit,
Yeah.
and kind of just move forward. You know what I mean? And that kind of helped me like move on a lot more quickly, I
Right.
guess. Um, and that goes for not just relationships, but just any relationship, or like loving
Right.
relationship, right? That goes for like platonic, like friends, people
Right.
that are toxic to your lives. Like I've had toxic friends. I've had friends that use me for my kindness,
Hmm.
and that took advantage of my kindness and my heart, right?
Right. Yeah.
That goes for family as well. Like
Right.
there are
Just
family members that,
relationships as a whole.
yeah, that is,
Yeah.
yeah, that applies to
Something's
everyone.
applicable.
Um,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, like it's it's so easy to get caught up in like the people that are seemingly good but are seemingly healthy, but they're really toxic people. They're just really good at manipulating you. um
Hmm. Hmm.
um it's so easy to get caught up in that you don't realize um your place in their life as much
Right.
as their place in yours, if that makes sense.
Right. Right.
And kind of tying back to the main topic, like it's so easy to receive the bad things because we're so used to seeing it. We're so used to taking the 50 shots that once we get like 10 or 12, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, it's, this is nothing. When it's
Right.
still a shot.
Right.
It's still 12 shots tequila.
Right.
So, it just remember your place in your life and what your goals are and what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Uh, and like, see the people that are in your life right now, and if they're not adding to your life, or if they're not like, if they're taking away more than giving, I guess,
Yeah.
not to be transactional or anything like that, but just if they're taking away from you,
Right.
just cut it out. You know what I mean?
Sorry, say
um
that last part again.
just cut it out. Like if they're
Yeah.
not if they're taking away from you, just cut it out. Easier said than done for some in some cases, but you know what I
Right.
mean.
And that's another thing. It's okay to get therapy. It's okay
Yes, oh my
because
goodness, yes.
oh man, like seeing kind people like myself, I just I just would go back and look at me and say, continue to get therapy, continue
Mhm.
to grow because this person, his this toxic person has taught you, to view the world or view others in a certain lens, through a certain
Right.
lens. And
Yeah,
it can cause you to view good people through that lens, and then you miss out. So something that like God like told me was like, you are worth the love. Are
absolutely.
you not worth that love? Are you not
Hmm.
worth it? So it's like heal so that you can get it. It's just
Yeah.
like don't let, there's
You are loved and you deserve love at all stages of your life, whether you're in a bad type position or if you're doing good in life, if you're doing bad in life, like you deserve love no matter what. And
right.
you deserve people around you to remind you of that.
Yes, yes. So it's like this healthy love that you have now. You know, like if you had like not been going to therapy or like haven't been on like on a self-growth journey, you know,
Absolutely.
yeah, you might
Oh yeah.
things might be differently, now.
Oh,
And
yes. If I didn't like going to therapy is one thing, but also putting in the work to make therapy work, if
yes.
that makes sense. You got to work with
Yes.
therapy as well. You can't just go to therapy, go there and just listen and then just not take away anything from it, right? You have to learn. But like that's also important too. Um, but like going if I had not been going to therapy, if I had not been like like putting in the effort to do better in my self help. Like I have you can't see it because you're gonna be listening to this later, but like I bought this book called The Body Keeps the Score, and
Period.
I'm like a quarter way through this book, and I'm like highlighting things, learning things, taking notes, annotations, so on and so forth, right?
Right.
And like it's like putting in the work to do better has taught me so much. And if I didn't put in that work, like I wouldn't have this amazing relationship that I have right now. And
Right.
I wouldn't have this person in the state like that we are right now. Like and I'm so grateful that like I'm grateful like not to I guess give myself a pat on the back. I'm grateful for myself for putting myself through the journey of putting in the work of self-help, right?
Yeah.
But I'm so grateful for um I guess the universe
Yeah.
for like putting me in the position that I was in to help me learn, right?
Yes.
Sometimes you gotta learn lessons the hard way, and I had to learn the
Yes.
hard way. But learning it the hard
Yes.
way got me in the relationship that I'm in right now,
Yes.
and I'm very grateful for it. And for
Yes.
those of you out there listening, like there are days where it's really fucking hard, and I know it is.
Yeah.
There are days that like you don't think that good things will come out of it,
Mm.
but I promise you, like putting in the work and like pushing through and you know doing what you can do every single day and any little bit of effort is a big win. And it
Yes.
will
It's a big
always
win.
it's yeah, any little effort is a big win. Even if you're going through it and like getting out of bed is too hard, like just the fact
Yeah.
that you got out of bed, that's a fucking win. Take your W. You know what I mean?
Get
You
it
brushed your
right.
teeth today, that's a W.
That's
It's
a
a fucking win.
W.
You went outside to get some vitamin D, that's a W. It's a win. You know what
Yes.
I mean? Even if it
Yes.
was for like 10 seconds, 10 minutes, or an hour, but you did
Yes.
it.
You
You know what I
did
mean?
it.
Whatever, you did it. You did it. So like just as long
Yes.
as you're putting in the effort and you're trying, that's what really fucking matters. And I hate people that are like, "Oh, you just got out of bed, like that's it." Like people that diminish the wins. No, like you got out of bed today.
Right. That's
Like
huge.
you got out of bed today. Like it's okay. Like
Exactly.
that is a win and just take the fucking win. Like don't let people diminish your successes. Whether they're like as simple as getting out of bed or getting the promotion or fucking like releasing the book or putting out your art or fucking like, you know, moving to a new home or brushing your teeth
Right.
or put it or fucking washing your clothes. Whatever the case is, you fucking won, bitch. You fucking
You
won, okay?
fucking won. A win
You
is a
fucking won,
win.
bitch. Like,
Yes. A
you
win
fucking
is a
won,
win.
bitch. It's Pride Month.
You
We are
won,
here.
bitch.
We won, bitch. Like, you won. It's okay. You succeeded. So just take the win. Fuck the
Take the
people that
win.
diminish your wins.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, you won, bitch. You
Yes.
boss bitch. You did it.
Yes.
Okay. So I know we're running out of time. So really
Yes.
quick, I wanted to just remind people, like people who haven't already heard your episodes in the previous two seasons. So y'all go check out Julie's episodes. Her first
Come.
episode is
Yes.
the
Come the
season
journey
one
with me.
finale, um, called "Navigating Therapy." Emotions, abandonment. Let me see. Yes, okay. Season one finale, navigating therapy and emotions, abandonment and self love. That's the first episode in season one, and then season two, her episode is I just had it. Narcissism in relationships, letting go, healing journey, therapy. And
Yeesh.
now here we are, season three. Easy to receive bad, hard to receive
Good.
good.
Oh.
And of course, Julie will be back for season four.
Oh
Duh.
yes. Always, as always. Let's do it.
Duh. Duh, right?
Period.
Um,
I'm
but
sorry.
okay.
Apparently I'm old now. My employees at my job, they tell me that it's no longer period, it's per. So
It's
I'm 25 and I feel like a senior now. So anyways, thank y'all for listening. Per. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I know my mic is new, so it's we're playing with it today.
Oh, the mic is welcome to be vulnerable too. Oh yeah, and we love
Great.
the good setup. It's giving very much Twitch gamer setup. I love it.
Thank you. Crunchy Boba with the K. That's my Twitch. Haha.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Text that. Send that to me, and I'll put in the episode description.
Absolutely.
Yes. Alrighty. See y'all next episode, folks.
All right. Bye, guys.